Galfred, chief instructor at the Bannock, wishes you to collect Chigo egg sacs. Tolucc, injuries to several of my men have left me short-handed, and I require a capable sort to complete their unfinished duty. The task is simple. Put down as many of the local Chigo population as necessary to acquire 3 of their egg sacs. Having done so, you are to deliver them to Monregwin at Gilbert's Spire. He will answer to any queries you might have. Now, I have other business to attend to. Ah, you must be the adventurer standing in for our injured companions. Terribly unfortunate business, that. It seems, however, that you had little trouble gathering the egg sacs in their stead. Excellent work. I shall have them sent over to the Trappers' League immediately. Lest you wonder, these egg sacs are not destined for the dinner table. Members of the Twin Adder and Wood Whalers are assisting the League by collecting the samples. They need to check for signs of sickness. The Chigo, you see, is one of the few creatures capable of transmitting the disease known as the Creeping Death. Until relatively recently, any hero who contracted this ghastly illness would almost invariably perish. Indeed, a single outbreak once claimed the lives of a third of the higher-end population here in Gridania. That was a long time ago, of course. With the medicines available to us now, the Creeping Death is not the killer it once was. Even so, it is best to halt any new outbreaks before they occur. Thus, we gather Chigo eggs on a regular basis in order to assist the Trappers League with their ongoing research. Your timely assistance is most appreciated. A guard at Gilbert's Spire named Monregwin needs you to recover the surveying equipment left behind in a cave by a startled recruit. Such an embarrassing turn of events. I sent a recruit from the Bannock on a surveying expedition only for the caravan to turn tail and flee at the first sign of trouble. This is not how we treat requests from the conjurers. And as if such a poor showing weren't bad enough, the lily-livered half-wit left behind the surveying equipment provided by Hera Pauline herself. While I attempt to instill some backbone into this so-called soldier, would you mind recovering the surveying gear and return it to Hera Pauline at Gabinot's Bower? According to my recruit's tale of woe, there should be a set of survey records, a surveyor's rope, and 2 boxes of surveyor's instruments strewn about the interior of a cave to the south of here. It's a wonder the damn fool didn't lose his boots. Matron, watch over you. Yes, may I assist you with some matter? Oh, but this is the equipment I left with the soldiers of the Bannock. Fled at the first sign of danger, you say. I see. Well, all is not lost. It appears the recruit managed to complete the surveying assignment. The records are actually quite detailed. With the changes wrought by the calamity, I thought it wise to send the Order of the Twin Adder on a number of expeditions to map the region's topography. As fortune would have it, the officers saw these tasks as an excellent opportunity to train inexperienced soldiers. We can no longer rely on our past knowledge of the Twelves Wood. If we are to survive these troubled times, we must reacquaint ourselves with our surroundings, that we may better discern the threats we face. Stay vigilant, adventurer. Pauline at Gabinou's Bower needs an adventurer to cull the growing Anole population as well as gather one of the Scalekin's eggs. I hesitate to make such a dangerous request, but might you assist us in thinning the number of Anolas in Naked Rock? In our efforts to commune with the elementals, we conjurers often find ourselves in the area. Of late, however, our meditations have all been too frequently been interrupted by unprovoked Anole attacks. Truly, the beasts grow more aggressive by the day. Their numbers have continued to grow since the advent of the 7th Umbral Era, you see, forcing packs of the Scalekin to come down from the mountains in search of food. If you could slay a handful of the beasts, that should lessen their need to hunt and also serve as a warning to the Anoles to remain within their territory. But I'm afraid you must do more than thin the existing population. If we are to truly break this spiraling growth, then we must also target their future offspring. Bring me one of your eggs, and you will have played your part in returning balance to this area of the forest. Ah, you have returned. Now, my brothers and sisters continue their meditations undisturbed. You have my thanks. As for the egg, may I ask you to deliver it to Sub Kemazam at the Bannock? Anole eggs are both large and filled with nutrients, the perfect meal for a soldier. She will be more than a little pleased to see you, I should imagine. Who goes there? Oh, Tolucc, it's you. Another delivery? I'm not certain I should be the one to buy Nofika. That's an Anole egg. The troops will be glad indeed to see one of these at the table. And you say Hera Pauline sent you on this errand? I hear the Anoles are more numerous than ever, yet you appear to have managed the task with your skin intact. Your skill and bravery continue to amaze me, Tolucc. Tolucc, thank the gods you've come. We have a potential crisis on our hands, and I would appreciate your assistance. Will you hear me out? Galfred, chief instructor at the Bannock, would entrust you with the task of investigating Spirit Hold. Listen well, for we haven't much time. To the southeast of here lies a dungeon known as Spirit Hold. It was all but destroyed during the calamity. Desiring to offer the ruins back to the forest, a Hera ventured inside to carry out the rite of returning. Alas, it would seem something has gone awry. Word arrived just moments ago that the Hera and his guards have been attacked by a towering shadow. Hey, you heard me. True, a shadow. On any other day, I would dispatch my best quivermen to provide support, but I sent them to repel an Exali incursion in the West Shroud near Belago. The timing of these events cannot be mere coincidence. I feel the Ixal somehow caught wind of our plans and are attempting to disrupt the rite in an effort to weaken the bond between man and elemental. They must not be allowed to succeed, and so I bid you go to Spirit Hold and do whatever is necessary to resolve the situation. Please, say you will help us. I knew you would not let me down. You will have all the support I can muster. Now, we are racing against time, so you had best make haste. Who goes there? An adventurer, is it? Here at Instructor Galfred's request, you say? Thank the matron. Doubtless you already know this, but a towering shadow manifested without warning and attacked the Hera in the midst of the rite. Most of his party had been successfully evacuated, but 5 remain unaccounted for. Please find them and see them out of harm's way. A great shadow towering over me. One that 12's good grace. Adventurer, please, you must save the hare. Galfred sent you? I am no longer of use here. Pray help the hare in my stead. Away, vile fiend, away, I say, I defy you, I defy you. An adventurer. We were ambushed in the midst of the ritual, and then I'm not sure what happened. You were sent to help? I fear you are too late. The ritual has failed. I must needs return to Gridania. The Seed Seers must know of this. That thing was no elemental, but a being born of darkness. The hare languished alone in the depths. You must help him. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. That the golem could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. Damnation! He has eluded us yet again. Oh, fancy meeting you here. How are things? Gosh, more birds. That makes how many more times today? 7? Their movements are beyond our fathoming. Do you think maybe they're trying to summon their primal? I hope not, for all our sakes. Yet we must be prepared for the worst. Withered, the same fate has befallen Emerald Moss. It is as we feared, Dalamund's anomaly is affecting life in the Twelveswood. You mean the disturbance in the etheric flow? The very same. The Garleans have a lot to answer for. The imbalance they have created is plunging the land into chaos, just as Luswaf forewarned. It's no wonder the primals have started appearing. Time is against us, but there's still hope for the land. We must hold fast to that hope and fight to the very last. Agreed. Wow. Stupid things. These stupid things happen to be the very latest in Charlian innovation. Show some respect. But they're so uncomfortable and ugly. If you ask me, they're an improvement over that mask of yours. It's hard to believe it's already been 5 whole years, isn't it? Already? 5 years is but a heartbeat in the life of the planet. I suppose you're right. Now that I think about it, the Twelveswood barely recovered at all, and the Gridanians still have the same old problems. Aye, along with some new ones. Just in case the Ixal and Garuda weren't troublesome enough, the Sylphs had to go and invite Rama, didn't they? Do you ever think about those adventurers who fought alongside us? I do. And then 5 years seems like ages. I wonder what became of them. Yira, look. Golly, and what is that exactly? Yet another disturbance in the aether, and freshly manifested at that. It seems to be emanating from Lifemen's Stump. We must hurry. Are you alright? Your eyes glazed over for a while there. The good news is that the hair is unharmed, somewhat dazed, yes, but whole of mind and body. The bad news concerns everything else. Lest you forget, the Twelveswood is the domain of the elementals. It is by their leave that man abides in the forest and avails himself of its bounty. The ground which the dungeon occupies is no different. Having no more use for the dungeon, the Gridanians sent a herald to offer the place back to the elementals by way of the right of returning, which is essentially an expression of gratitude. Alas, he failed to complete the ritual, for obvious reasons. While the poor soul cannot be blamed for this, the fact remains that unless the elementals have given their due, they may well consider it a slight, and the very last thing the Gridanians can afford to do in these uncertain times is risk alienating the Twelveswood Eternal Guardians. But you have more than done your part. We shall see the herald to safety and send for his peers to finish the rite. In the meantime, please make your way outside and report to Alistan. But where are my manners? I am Papalimo. The tactless woman beside me here is... Ida. Papalimo and I are surveying the Twelveswood together. Pleased to meet you. Ida, give me a hand, would you? Wait, there's something familiar about you. Could it be that you are... Never mind. Doubtless my eyes are playing tricks. Till we meet again. All this happened inside Spirit Hold? 12 preserve us. Who was the masked mage, and by what dark ambition is he driven? So many things shrouded in mystery. Well, I shan't find any answers on my own. I must needs discuss this with Galfred. The matter warrants a full investigation. If I am any judge, and that shall certainly be my recommendation. Your courage has saved many lives this day, adventurer. For this you have my deepest gratitude. Pray, return to Gridania and seek out Mion. I understand she wishes to thank you for your efforts on our behalf. Greetings, Tall One. I'm a delivery Moogle Koopa. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Moogles are supposed to hide in trees and avoid contact with outsiders. Why ever would they agree to carry about letters? Why, indeed. If I had my way, I'd be curled up under my canopy of a nice oak dreaming about some beautiful Mooglet with a rainbow-colored pom-pom Koopa. But no, the moon had to go and drop from the sky, causing all that terrible commotion. Aetherites were shattered and link pearls rendered useless, for moons, the poor, wingless people of Eorza, had no way of communicating with each other, beyond screaming at the top of their lungs, which no one really approved of, Koopa. That is, until the little horned ones asked us to assist them by delivering messages. At first we were wary of showing ourselves, worried that one of you might catch us and skin us like you do every other forest furry, but once we saw how much we were appreciated, we knew we'd found our new calling. And I personally promise to try and not read any along the way, Kupo. Look what we have here. A new letter for you has arrived, just for you, Kupo. Welcome back, Tolucc. A little bird tells me that the hare and his party owe you their lives. A tale for the tavern if ever there were one. It is only a shame that I must ask you not to tell it, for the time being at least. Do I make myself clear? Until the hares have made their will on the matter known, it would be best to avoid unsettling people with stories of walking statues. Now then, you must have suitable recompense for your valiant service. For the first half of your reward, I give you leave to make use of the accommodations here at the guild. Arrangements have been made, so all you need to do is speak with Antoinette whenever you crave the comfort of a firm bed and soft pillow. For the second half of your reward, I offer you another path to fame and fortune, guild leaves. Guild leaves are records of various requests we receive from the citizenry. They outline all manner of tasks which ambitions young adventurers like you can elect to undertake. Gontrent is our guild leave official, or leave meet, here at the Carlene Canopy. I have spoken with him regarding your knack for solving challenging problems, and he is eager to make your acquaintance. By the way, have you perchance heard about the coming festival? It is truly a splendid occasion, looked forward to by young and old alike, and one I heartily recommend that you take the time to enjoy. Don't be too disappointed if the recent troubles cast a shadow over proceedings, however. I fear nothing short of the mysterious interloper's apprehension can prevent that. But we're talking about you, Tolucc. You have made Mother proud. I expect great things of you, young lady. Impressed by your progress, Mune wishes to send you on to Bench Branch Meadows, where you will find further opportunities to learn. How is my favorite fresh-faced adventurer? Oh, do not scowl so. I speak out of habit. You've come a long way since first you walked through my door, and I'll not deny it. As a matter of fact, I think it's about time you made yourself useful at Bent Branch Meadows and the Central Shroud. Unlike the recruits you see at the Bannock, the men and women out at Bent Branch are fully occupied with their own work. As such, I imagine there are more than a few who would welcome the assistance of a rapidly maturing adventurer like yourself. Bent Branch is also home to a very usefully situated aetheryte. It is, in other words, the perfect place for you to begin the next stage of your journey as an adventurer. And what better time than the present? Leave the city via the Blue Badger Gate and continue to the southwest until you come to a bridge. Cross it and when you spy an aetheryte in the distance, you may congratulate yourself on having successfully found Bent Branch Meadows. If you so fancy, you may also make use of the Chocobo Porter service. Doubtless the safest way to get to your destination, Chocobo Keep Singwer should not hesitate to lend his birds to a capable adventurer like you. Oh, and be sure to introduce yourself to Keitha, the head Chocobo Wrangler, when you arrive. Guildmaster Yuan would teach you the meaning of courage. Ah, you have returned. I take from your presence that you have gained a measure of familiarity with your weapon. Good. You are ready to begin the next phase of your training. You will recall my telling you that it takes no small amount of courage to be a lancer. Now, in general terms, courage is the strength to do something which one finds unnerving. However, a lancer's notion of courage is not so simple. Having first drawn a distinction between courage and recklessness, he then divides the former into two aspects. I would have you learn each with spear in hand. The first is composure. When outnumbered in battle, a lancer may lose his composure and succumb to panic. Should this happen, all of his training will swiftly flee his mind, and he will struggle to overcome opponents whom he would ordinarily have bested with ease. He will, in short, contribute to his own defeat. If you wish to become a lancer in sooth, you must learn to maintain your composure at all times. Do this and you will be able to call upon every ounce of your strength and skill when it matters most. And so your first task, the riverbanks of the Central Shroud are home to Vilekin known as Yarzans. Fiercely territorial, the creatures will attack anyone who strays too close, making them the bane of fisherfolk. They typically fall upon their prey en masse, barring all avenues of escape before closing in for the kill. What must go through the mind of their victim in the instinct? Panic? Despair? Be sure to tell me upon your return. Needless to say, I would have you brave such an encounter. Take this sack of decidedly noisome bait and use it to lure the ever-ravenous creatures out of their nest. It may be that only one curious Yarzan appears, but what if 2 or 3 follow the scent? Let us see how you fare then. Go now, my young lancer, and learn what it means to fight with composure. Welcome back, Tolucc, and well done. I trust you now understand that in times of direst need, no amount of strength or skill with a spear will avail the lancer who lacks composure. You are now ready to learn the second aspect of a lancer's courage, resolve. When faced with a terrible foe, a lancer may succumb to fear and self-doubt. Should this happen, he will become defensive, and in seeking to cover his weakness, surrender his greatest strength, namely, his capacity to attack. A lancer who fears to attack is not but a man holding a pole. His spear may as well be a broomstick for all the good it would do him. It is not and never will be a shield. That you may learn the truth of my words firsthand, I bid you go to the central shroud to an area adjoining the abandoned dungeon known as Spirit Hold. Since the calamity, the neck of the 12's Wood has become a veritable menagerie of fearsome fauna. There you will find 3 collapsed pillars, which have become a haunt for fell creatures. You are to put them down. What manner of fiends can you expect to encounter? To reveal that would be to defeat the purpose of the lesson, my young Lancer. I will say only this: if you face these foes with the Lancer's resolve, you will surely emerge the victor. Once you have completed the trial, pray report to Jillian in the entrance hall. She has grasped the 2 aspects of courage, albeit with some trouble. Though I doubt you will encounter similar difficulties, her struggle has furnished her with certain insights which I think you would benefit from hearing. A Lancer learns best when he is doing, but the wisdom of his seniors is not entirely without worth. Go now, Tolucc, and do as I bid you. I've been expecting you, Tolucc. By your return, I trust you now understand the importance of resolve. Like one's flesh, courage can be made strong. It is a matter of training each of its aspects. Now, the endeavor you may prove difficult in the beginning. Gods know how much I struggled. You may suffer untold humiliation and more frustration than you can bear, but you must persevere. Whenever you engage an opponent, whether in training or in earnest, make a conscious effort to fight with composure and resolve. Over time, doing so will become second nature, and you will acquire such a courage as you never thought could be yours. Mind you, not all battles entail a physical clash of might. It could simply be a disagreement born of a conflict in ideology. The point is, it matters not what battlefield you stand upon, so long as you take care to be composed and resolute, your courage will grow. Did that make any sense, even a little? I fear I cannot hold a candle to Guildmaster Yuane, but if there is an aught I can do to assist you in your training... What was that? Something is afoot in the training area? And you call yourselves Lancers. Pathetic. Your next guildmaster, arm yourself and face me. Refuse and all will know that you are no true Lancer. Say what you will, I'm above provocation. Craven to the last man. Nah, but what have we here? Wait, she is but a novice. That makes no odds to me. You yourself admitted her to your ranks, did you not? Very well, I shall withdraw for now. Yet know that only the fearless are fit to wear the mantle of Lancer. I look forward to measuring your worth in the days to come. There is not more to see. Return to your drills. Tolucc, you made no attempt to evade his thrust. Did your opponent so unnerve you as to deprive you of your senses? Well, it is of little consequence now. You need pay no further heed to our uninvited guest, lest you wonder it is not uncommon for the challengers to come pounding on our doors seeking to test their mettle. For now, dedicate yourself to tempering the two aspects of courage, the composure to bring the sum of your strength and skill to bear against your foes, and the resolve to attack when fear would stay your hand, as befits a Lancer. When next we meet, I shall have another trial for you, one that will put your courage to the test. Until then, continue to apply yourself to your training. Farewell, Tolucc. Guildmaster Yuan has a mind to test your courage. Ah, Tolucc, I swear you have gained an ilm around the arm since last we spoke. It is plain you have not been idle. In our previous lesson you learned the Lancer's definition of courage and how you might go about tempering its two aspects. Today we shall find out if your efforts have borne fruit. I see you have come prepared for battle. That as well. Your next trial will place you in the midst of a throng of enemies. In such a situation, one may be attacked from any direction, making it difficult to respond appropriately. Furthermore, the likelihood of being surrounded is high. Will your resolve bear the weight of uncertainty? Will your composure hold when the odds are stacked against you? We shall soon find out. Should you overcome this trial, what courage you already possess will be further tested. Tempered. Now heed me well, for this is what you must do. I would have you travel to Naked Rock, where there annuls claim dominion. At the summit of the rock is a sacred artifact, the Stone of Courage. You must claim it and bring it to me. If you are to reach your destination, you will need to negotiate a path through the whole packs of flesh-eating Skelkin. Make no mistake, the creatures are intimidating foes. To stride into the midst of so many would ask much of any Lancer's courage, but given time and no small amount of perseverance, I am confident that you will prove equal to the task. Congratulations. You have obtained the false stone of courage. You heard me right. False. What does that say about your courage, I wonder? But where are my manners? My name is Falcus. We had the pleasure of meeting at the Lancers Guild, if you recall. On that occasion I turned my weapon upon you, and you betrayed not a hint of fear. It was in that instant that I sensed that you were unlike the others, that you had promise. And so to that present, in its current state, the trial in which you are engaged, if trial it may be called, makes a mockery of the Lancer's art. Needless to say, this cannot be tolerated. And so I have taken the liberty of moving the Stone of Courage to a more suitable location. It now resides in the depths of Spirit Hold, under the guard of fell fiends, a far more fitting challenge, as I am sure you will agree. Whether or not you attempt to retrieve the stone is for you to decide. If you fear for your safety, I suggest you run back to the guild and bemoan the world's frightfulness to the many brave souls who cower there. Wayne will doubtless consider it a supremely courageous act. Yet know that a lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. So you have returned. Tell me, were you able to obtain the Stone of Courage? Yes, this is indeed the stone, though it is rather worse condition than when I last saw it. What happened at Naked Rock? The Lancer who but recently threatened you moved the stone to Spirithold? Not content with trespass and slander, the brazen fool now meddles with our training? Seven hells, this is not to be borne. Listen well, Tolucc. Though I do not doubt that you know better, my duty as Guildmaster compels me to state the obvious. Heed not that man's words. That a Lancer's courage can only be forged in the midst of great dangers of vainglorious tripe. As you have already learned, a Lancer's courage is in the product of composure and resolve. Be under no misapprehension. Watchfully navigating the Annul's territory served to temper your courage in a manner that blindly braving the terrors of Spirithold did not. As you continue your training, pray keep the lesson of this trial close to your heart. Before you return to your adventuring, there is one more thing I would tell you. In recognition of your unwavering efforts in the trials thus far, I hereby grant you leave to join other guilds. Naturally, you must seek the permission of the relevant guildmaster before commencing your training. Gridania is home to a great many guilds besides your own. If you consider combat your calling, the archers and conjurers have a strong presence in our nation. Should you crave a more peaceful pastime, you may alternatively consider joining the leatherworkers, carpenters, or botanists. While there is something to be said for broadening one's horizons, it is also important to maintain focus. Always bear this in mind. As your guildmaster, I would naturally prefer that you first master the Lancer's art. Rest assured that there will be time enough to take up another discipline when you have done so. Yet whatever path or paths you choose to walk, I look forward to seeing you realize your obvious potential. You must be the adventurer Mion sent word about. I'm Keitha, head wrangler around these parts. I've heard many and more things about you, good things, lest you worry. When the elder seeds here bade us welcome, venturers, 'tis fair to say we had our doubts, till hard-working folk like yourself set about proving us wrong, that is. Consider me a convert. Any road, you've a mind to help out at a ranch, have you? Good. We could always do with a hand or two to keep the place running smoothly. As a matter of fact, I've a task right here that wants doing. Let me know when you're ready to get busy. Oh, and you come highly recommended, so don't go letting no one down, eh? Keitha, the head wrangler at Bent Branch Meadows, appears most distraught. See if there's anything you can do. Seven hells, some bastard Quisian has gone and broken one of me chocobo eggs. The filthy little thief was busy looting the barn when a guard startled it, prompting that damn thing to drop the egg. It was clutching and run. Some of the lads gave chase, bless 'em, but when 3 more of them vermin appeared, me lot had no choice but to turn back. Something has to be done about those Queekern. Would you mind heading over to Maiten's Leth and having a word with the soldier named Rosaline for me? The ratmen nest in her neck of the woods, see? She'll know what to do. You're here on Keith's behalf? I see. Broke one of her eggs, you say? And there were 4 of the creatures? The Queekern are a nuisance at the best of times, but we must now add trespass and chocobo murder to their list of transgressions. They have forced our hand, our retribution must needs be swift and decisive. And who better than you to deliver it, adventurer? Find the lair to the west of here and make an example of our exactly 4 Queekern scramblers. We can send no clearer message. The deed is done? Good. A grim task, but a necessary one. You have shown them the folly of inciting the wrath of those who consort with adventurers. Perhaps now the Queekern will think twice before giving in to their larcenous proclivities.